Okay, so now we're moving on to our favorite anime of the year. There's no other animes up before this. Inuyashiki, Grandpa Justice.
Grandpa Justice.
This was a really good finale to this series.
This was a finale. There's no season 2.
Hands down, the best finale.
Yes.
But, okay, so we're the last episode. There's really no reason for it to continue going because Hero's been dispatched, but
we
come into the thing that has been just the subplot that has been looming over everything, the meteor in the background.
And it's going to wipe out the planet. Meanwhile, Inuyashiki, Grandpa Justice is now semi-popular. There's people who don't even realize it's him. Most people don't realize it's him. But unfortunately, it did exactly what we thought it was going to do. The family now loves him. God damn it. His wife has been reaffirmed of her love for her husband. The daughter absolutely loves her dad. The son's a little conflicted, but he comes around too. Like, they actually have this great talk about, like, the son's like, because he's being bullied and showing him being bullied. And he's like, I wish I was a robot too and people loved me. And, and then I wouldn't have to die. And Inuyashiki actually gives this great speech to his son. It's so heartfelt. It's so well written, well animated. And, people are coming to terms with the end of the world. They're talking to world leaders on the news about the end of the world. And we see a certain orange-faced, blonde-haired ruler of a certain powerful nation come on and basically tell the world, suck it.
Yeah.
I lived my life with suck it. I don't care.
So this show has really just been up there with the memes and popular culture. Like every episode they're mentioning something like manga, like One Piece, and everything else that I can't think of right now. But yeah, so they do have a part where Trump comes on the episode. They turn the TV on. Nobody knows what's going on at this point, and then he's just like, yeah, there's a giant asteroid coming. I'm the great leader of this nation. I've lived a full life, and the rest of you losers can go to hell.
Basically. And it just made us laugh so hard. It was so fucking great. I loved it. So, meanwhile, while that's going on, and everyone's coming to terms with the fact that the world's going to end, Hero shows up, armless, by the way, but still somehow with, not only did he get the zip-up jacket, the same hoodie he's been wearing the whole series, I swear to God, I think he just robs the same store over and over again to get the same hoodie. Because I swear it's been destroyed like twice at least.
Yeah, so you do make a great point there, because every time they go into jetpack mode, it like blows out the back of their shirt.
Yeah.
So he has obviously been going to the clothes store, maybe robbing it or using the money he takes from the ATM, which is basically robbing it.
Yeah.
To get a new hoodie each time.
The exact same hoodie.
The exact same hoodie. He's like the Unabomber of the Inuyashiki universe.
So he shows up at Ondo's just to read manga. He just wants to read manga. Because he can't, he's still having trouble coming to the terms with what he's done, why it's bad. Apparently he still can't figure out why it's bad.
Yeah, so Cray serial killer shows up to his house, and 600 IQ Ondo disarms him by being like, here's some manga to read.
Yes!
And he's like, oh, I love manga. Thank you, Ondo.
Yes. So, it's a weird scene. It shows that, Hiro still has affection for Ondo, despite, siding with Ichiro. It shows a scene with Hiro going to see Shion and her grandmother, and you see him crying a bit, and it's like they want you to feel for him, but it's like, I can't feel for this dude. He murdered how many people? Like, he even watches video of people going, die, Hiro, die. We all want you to die. Shows these little girls, you killed my mommy and daddy, so you should die next.
How did the little girls make it out anyway?
I don't know.
That's a plot hole, actually.
Yeah. But Maybe they were not on one of the planes.
Maybe they're at the grandmother's house or something.
Maybe. Well, maybe they were. Maybe their parents were on one of the planes that he destroyed.
Oh, maybe, but
so the asteroid has come, and Grandpa Justice says, "No, I will not just sit here and accept it."
So he's gonna go save the world, and he goes up into space
after this very heartfelt scene with his daughter. Which, God, this show is so good at feels. This show is so good at feels. And his family tries to chase him down, but he takes off.
I've got a sense of duty here.
And he goes into space, and he starts trying to rip apart the asteroid, blowing it up with his back lasers. He only makes a dent in it. He can't do jack. And so he refuses to give up. But he can't figure out what to do. And then Hero shows up. Hero's just sort of there, and they talk in space.
And he's like, "You know what, Ichiro? I figured out how to stop this. I watched the plot of Armageddon. Let's enact it."
So he's going to self-sacrifice himself. He's going to self-detonate. To which Ichiro goes, "You? Why? Why would you come to that conclusion?" And he goes, "I know that may be hard for you to believe, but there's people I don't want to die. I don't want Shion or... I got his name. Ando, thank you. Ando to die."
How can you forget the smartest guy?
I know. Yeah, I don't want them to die. That's just the long and short of it. I don't care about everyone else. I don't want Ando or Shion to die. So he says, "Poke my eyes out, because I don't have arms anymore to do it."
Feels like I do not have arms, and the trigger for the explosions are pushing both of my eyeballs in.
So he does. He closes his eyes. He pushes his eyeballs in. Grandpa Justice flies away. He blows up. It shows Shion screaming and crying, and it failed.
There's still a significant chunk of the meteor out there, and Grandpa's Justice is like, "Well, that failed. What do now?"
Yeah, he starts running simulations in his head. A little heads-up screen display shows. It's like, if I continue to destroy it, and it shows it's still collision course. If I do this, collision course. He goes, if I blow myself up, and the simulation shows the asteroid just completely disintegrating, everyone's saved. He has all of a sudden at that moment, Ando calls him. He says, what happened? What happened up there? And he's like, "Hero saved the world." And he goes,
"Yeah, everybody's safe. We'll talk about this tomorrow."
Yeah, he's like, "Okay, I'll come see you tomorrow." He's like, "Okay, click." And he reaches up and he pokes himself in the eyes.
And that's where the episode ends.
No, it does not. It actually
ends right there, because the credits start scrolling.
They do start scrolling. He's having these... You can see he's having these images, these delusions, because all of a sudden he thinks he's with his family. They're on a vacation together. Because he starts trying to wrap his arms around someone who's not there. And he opens his eyes, and his eyes are gone. His eyes are just black. And as he's just, staring / not staring at the world, he blows up. And it shows his family are just grief-stricken. They're screaming. Just Ando on his balcony screaming, and it's just so fucking sad. They're playing this really sad song.
It's the ending theme.
Yeah, and it's just... Then it's all of a sudden it has a weird cut to time later.
Yeah.
And his wife's working at a grocery store. His daughter gets into jump. She makes she wins a contest to become a jump mangaka. And the son finally starts standing up for himself.
The son is still being bullied, actually. So
no, the son was laid out, but the one bully was carrying the other bully, and he's like, "Oh god, man!" His face is all bloody.
So he must have watched Gabriel's Dropout, or Gabriel Dropout, and is like, "You know what? I'm not ending up like Satania."
Yes. So it shows that they went on. They took something from Ichiro, his life, what he did, his sacrifice. Their lives went on. It was just this beautiful ending. God, it was so good. But the reason I knock it down over the next entry is because they did the one thing that I feared they would do. The whole family redemption.
Yeah, the family didn't really need redeemed. They should have all died horribly at the hands of Ando, actually. I'm just gonna go way out into left field because, they were real shitheads through the whole thing, and
they were. And then it's
there's no reason that we have to feel like empathy for them because Ichiro was the good guy and he was out there doing good things, and his family starts to like him.
Yeah, and it was like it wasn't even something that was like
superhero.
But it was, and what's even worse is that they didn't even do it over time. To come. If they had
no time to.
I know because it was only 11 episodes show, but it was it wasn't even across one episode. It was a 2-minute scene where Ichiro's basically says, "I'm a fake. I'm not even the real Ichiro," and I'm just a machine. He shows himself as a machine to the family, and the wife just goes, "Where did we go on our honeymoon? What did we do?" And he repeats it exactly how it happened. And she's like, "You are my Ichiro," and just starts crying and holding him. He's like, "Oh my god!"
He's like, "Oh, I love you, man, even though you're a machine." And
it's just sort of like, what?
And that's what the little boy is just looking there. He's like, "I have no idea what is going on here."
So that's why I knock it down. It was still a fantastic ending, but it's just not. That just annoys me so much. To me, that little family redemption arc. It wasn't necessary. It didn't need to be. And I mean, the fact that he redeemed with just his daughter, I think that was powerful enough the way they did it.
Yeah.
And the rest of it wasn't necessary. So that's my opinion. I liked it. I think it's one of the best animes I've seen in a very long time. And I'm glad it went out the way it did.
Was the dog there at the end crying with them?
He was howling,
with the family portrait at the end?
Might have been. I
don't think he was.
No, wait.
They were all crying about that, and because he's gone and everything.
After the explosion?
And after the explosion.
Yeah,
and
they were crying. No, they were crying, and the dog was sitting next to them and howling.
The genuinely liked Ichiro for who he was, the dog.
He was there.
If he was not there, that would have been such a shame.
So that's our feelings on Inuyashiki. So there's one more anime for this season that topped them all for us, and we're going to talk about that right now. And number one for us this week was absolutely Ancient Magus' Bride. I don't even say this is like the best finale of the season. I say this was the best series of this season.
Yeah, this is the most consistent series of the season to begin with.
I think it only had one filler feeling, like one episode that felt like filler, and the rest of it was so great a show.
Yeah, like I said, this is the most consistent. I think we've had it up at like number 2 or higher.
Yes.
Like every week, so...
I think there was 1 week where it felt like 3.
I just want to give it shouts out for being, that consistently good.
Yes. So, Shisei is still out. She's still making her wand, and she just sort of wakes up and it's done. It's like a staff. They call it a wand, but this is clearly a walking stick that has like a bird figure on it.
Yeah, it's like this bird figure, and they put like jewels in there for its eyeballs. And it's like the most like
it looks sad.
It gives you like these puppy dog eyes or something. It's like
I want something.
Human has treat, give me treat.
Yes. And then somehow Lindell, is that his name?
Yeah, Lindell.
Lindell like uses her hair and it suddenly turns the wood red for some reason.
After our Disney princess scene of him singing. And the singing brings the wand together with the hair and everything.
Yes.
Because it's magic and you don't have to explain that.
Yes.
Shit.
The answer, why is that magic? Magic. But why magic?
Don't have to explain shit, yo.
So she takes her staff in her hands and she's suddenly transported to the world between life and death, where Nivelle, the dragon she saw in episode 2 and she helped move on, is waiting for her there. And she has this little moment of self-crisis or self-discovery, about something about herself, because he basically says, "Hey, the only person who's here is this doddering old fool. Go ahead and just talk to yourself." And she talks about, how she feels about Elias, how she feels about herself, her situation with Elias, how she always was just ready. She feels like she's greedy now because she was always just ready and expectant to be cast out into the street. And to which Nivelle just sort of asks her, why? Why the hell did you feel that way? I mean, he was more delicate about it, but he's like, did Elias ever say anything like that or give you any indication? It's like, well, no. It's like, then you felt that way. Why?
This is all PTSD because of her mother. Yeah, no.
And her father and brother and her whole family.
She has like these happy memories or whatever.
We'll get to that, but she basically starts to break down what her feelings are for Elias, her family that she's building up with them, and where she really belongs. And she comes to sort of a realization. She doesn't really say it per se, but she says, I need to, I think I have something to say to Elias. And Nivelle's like, well, you better say it now, because what do you say? Like, feelings or thoughts are like, fruit. If you when they're ripe, you say them, but if you wait too long, then they, it was actually far more poetic than I could possibly articulate.
Ruined.
I know. So she takes her staff, she wakes up back up, and she say, "You okay?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I was just talking to Nivelle, the dead dragon. Yeah, I was just talking to him. I need to go now."
Yeah, so she does her best Shepard impression, and then,
Best what?
Shepard impression. Have you played Mass Effect?
Yes.
I need to go.
Oh, okay.
At the end of every conversation.
Okay, yeah, it took me a minute.
Took you, yeah. Brightest guy here was competing with Ondo for top of the class, but never made it.
Yeah, just eked out. Ondo was just that much more. So, she apparently has far, again, we remember, it's like, oh yeah, she's a Slay Beggy. She's basically a magic battery. And she tries to do the teleportation spell that Elias does, but instead turns into a fucking phoenix?
Yeah, so, like, X-Men here as well?
Yeah.
Well, she turns into this giant phoenix, and I thought this is actually really cool, It
is, it's badass. And they start playing the opening credits theme over it.
And Lindell's like, what the fuck?
And she's just like, I'm going to Elias right now. I got this thing I need to say. And she flies up after a really badass, like 2.5 minute segment. And she gets to Elias. He's like, I love it. He's just sort of like, wandering out his flower garden and just sort of like, something's different.
Oh, yeah.
And turns around and looks up and just sees this giant phoenix in his face.
He's like, yeah, that happens every day.
And then it's like, it sort of dissipates and Chisei falls out into his arms. He's like, Elias, I just had to see you. He's like, what? Why did you do that? That was so much magic. He's like, well, I thought I had my wand. He's like,
she's like, well, I have my wand and I was trying to teleport to you, but I got a little carried away.
Yeah, and there's this really, really important thing I need to tell you right now because it's so important, Elias. I need to... And then she falls asleep for 2 days.
Yeah, so that's actually an impressive feat because I've told you that the longest I've ever slept is like in my teenage years, because I used to stay up all night. It's just an entire day, so I could never manage doing 2 days.
The longest I ever fell asleep was, there was one day I got so deathly ill, I was vomiting all night, that when I got medicine and it finally kicked in and I could stop vomiting, I slept for, I think it was like 18, 19 hours. So
sounds about right.
So she wakes up and it's just another day and she doesn't say what she meant to say. It is sort of, because they're immediately sort of diverted by the herd of flying sheep fairy monster things.
Which escaped from Kino's journey.
Yeah, apparently. After Kino murdered them in Kino's world, they became...
so this is just their disembodied forms in the afterlife that Chisei is seeing.
And Elias is like, oh, Chisei, good thing you're awake now. It's shearing season. And it's just sort of... It ends, but it's still... Even though it's obviously like, okay, wait for the next episode, it even has a thing at the end, showing scenes from the next episode. It felt like a really, really good bookend to this arc. Because Chisei started out... Oh, God, and I said we were going to get to it. The dream. You were trying to bring up the memory.
Oh, yeah, she has this dream that's kind of, she doesn't like... Because through the most of the series, she doesn't have these happy memories of her mom or
every
anything.
time she has a dream of her mom throughout the entire series, she's strangling her, or she's saying, I wish you were never born. and she just very angry looking at her, or it shows the silhouette of her dad's shadow walking away from her, and it's just like, she never has a good memory.
Well, this week we get a happy dream where she's got, like, riding on her father's shoulders or something, and he's all like, "Yay, Chisei, you're so great," and her mom's happy.
Chisei, you're going to be a big sister soon.
You're going to be a big sister soon, so it's like a really happy, joyous memory here.
Yeah, and she just sort of wakes up and goes, "Oh, shit.
That was a thing.
I have good memories. When the hell did that happen?" Like, she has no recollection that she actually had good memories, which is interesting, and I can't wait to see what they do with that in the next season. And so, like I said, this was a really good arc, because we started with a character that was completely ready to kill herself. And then to a character who was just like, she was talked into giving her life to somebody else. Say, hey, you're going to kill it anyway, you're going to end it anyway, might as well give it to somebody, right? And put it for auction. And she went from property to this sort of self-reliant character. She started, like, just at the end, it's sort of like, how do I put it? She, like we were talking in the last 2 episodes where Lindell calls her out for being complacent. And she sort of just, like, strikes out on her own in this episode. Starts to show, the whole series is about her transformation.
Yeah, she starts to show more strength, which I guess kind of goes into that next episode thing, because she kind of looks like Jedi Master Chisei and everything. So it's interesting. I can't wait for the next season. This whole season of this show has been so absolutely consistent. Like I said, Inuyashiki was a better finale, but this was a better show. Yeah, because it didn't. Although I did enjoy the meme spam within Inuyashiki, all meme spam eventually does not age well. So,
no.
People that watch Inuyashiki like years from now are probably like, "Who's this blonde-haired guy? I've never heard of him."
Yeah. So
like 100 years from now.
Meanwhile, Chisei is set apart in its own world. It has its own rules, and it's just, you're just following Chisei. That's all you're doing. You're following Chisei and learning about this world as she learns about it, and growing more fond of the world as she grows more fond of it. Because, it's just so beautifully done, so well paced, and I'm excited for the next season. I am so excited for the next season.
I have no idea where this is gonna go. Is it gonna kind of like have some battles in it or something, where there's more than oh, somebody cast a spell at me and it one-shot me, so I'm gone. I'm totally devastated.
Yeah, because they showed a little bit like next time on Ancient Magus' Bride, it showed like Chisei in like Master Jedi robes and a dark dragon, and they're flying through the sky and firing beams at each other, and it was just like, what the? Is this the same show? So I'm interested to see where it goes. I had a lot of fun with it this season, and it's definitely the best anime, in my opinion, this season. At least the most consistent.
Yeah, the most consistent, so it was always at the top,
Yep.
I think that, Land of the Lustrous probably will win awards, but
yeah,
that finale episode, just too weak for what it was.
See, whereas Ancient Magus' Bride, yes, there's a continuation and it ends with the feeling of, oh, there's more to come.
At least we know there's more to come.
Well, it's not just that, it still felt like a bookend to this little arc.
Yeah, you got the end to it, and still continuing, and we know it's still continuing because it's going into next season. Lustrous
had no bookend. It was just
had no end whatsoever.
Yeah, it literally just cut. It was just like, and credits start arbitrarily right now. Because it's at the 22-minute mark. The credits have to start right now. So it was really good. I can't wait for the next season. It's up in the air whether we're going to review it here on this anime talk. I'm sort of the opinion that we should do new shows per season. But we'll see how many new shows that we feel are even worth watching. So,
well, if there was Konosuba next, we could just do 5 slots of Konosuba.
That's true.
Sadly, we've been let down by the anime lords.
We have
this winter 2018.
So we'll be back for winter 2018. Because, guys, this is the end. This is the end of fall 2017. Anime talk for fall 2017 has come to an end. The animes we talked about: Kino's Journey, Land of the Lustrous, Inuyashiki, Girls Last Tour, and Ancient Magus' Bride. While each one of them having their highs and their lows, some with more lows than others, I think all 5 of them are worth our time, or worth your time. You should check them out if you haven't already, if you haven't been watching them alongside us. And, you know, let us know what you thought of those anime. Let us know what you thought of this series we started. If you liked it, thank Carnage Panda. It was his idea. And if you have any comments or criticisms or feedback, things you'd like to see in the next season, let us know in the comments below. But for now, we're ending this here. As I said, if you enjoyed it, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, share it, or you can click on the annotations for other videos we've done. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.